Yeah, we are going to learn today how to work out the problems under crashing of a project. We have given a list of activities. We have given a normal time. We have given a crash time. We also given a normal cost and the crash cost. Now, how do we work out the sum? Firstly, we'll have to list down the number of activities which is given here, which is 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 2 to 4, 2 to 5, 3 to 4 and 4 to 5. Let's list out the activities. 2 to 4, 2 to 5, 3 to 4 and 4 to 5. And similarly, the normal time is given here, which is 8, 4, 2, 10, 5, 3. We are going to list out the normal time for each of the activities. Then we have given a crash time here, which is 6, 2, 1, 5, 1, 1 for each of the activities. 6, 2, 1, 5, 1 and 1. And now we'll have to find out the possible crash here. The possible crash is not given in the question, so therefore we'll have to find out the possible crash. Now how are we going to do that? Normal time minus the crash time. Normal time minus the crash time will give us a possible crash. Like for example, 8 minus 6 is 2, 4 minus 2 is 2, 2 minus 1 is 1, 10 minus 5 is 5, 5 minus 1 is 4, 3 minus 1 is 2. And now we are going to list down the normal cost for each of the activities. For example, 1 to 2, the normal cost is 100. So therefore 1 to 2, the normal cost is 100. And similarly we have 150, 50, 100, 100 and 80. Let's list out the cost. 150, 50, 100, 100 and 80. Next, they also given us the crash cost. For activity 1 to 2, the crash cost is 200. For activity 1 to 3, the crash cost is 350. So similarly, they have listed down the crash cost. So we'll copy the same. For activity 1 to 2, it is 200. Next, 350, 90, 400, 200 and 100. Now we'll have to find out the extra cost. Extra cost is crash cost minus the normal cost. Crash cost minus the normal cost, which is 200 minus 100 is 100. 350 minus 150 is 200. 90 minus 50 is 40. 400 minus 100 is 300, 200 minus 100 is 100, 100 minus 80 is 20. Finally, we are going to find out the cost of slope for each of the activities. How do we find cost of slope? It is extra cost divided by possible crash. Like for example, extra cost we have for activity 1 to 2 is 100. So therefore 100 divided by 2, the possible crash is here 2. So 100 divided by 2 is 50. And similarly, extra cost for activity 1 to 3, that is 200 divided by the possible crash is 2. So therefore 200 divided by 2 is 100. Next, for activity 2 to 4, we have extra cost 40, which is divided by possible crash is 1. So therefore 40 divided by 1 is 40. Then for activity 2 to 5, extra cost is 300 divided by the possible crash is 5. 300 divided by 5 is 60. And then we have extra cost for activity 3 to 4 is 100 divided by possible crash we have 4. So therefore the cost of slope is 25. And then for activity 4 to 5, the extra cost is 20 divided by the possible crash is 2 here. So 20 divided by 2 is 10. After finding out the cost slope, we'll have to draw a network. We'll have to draw the network diagram. Now, how do we draw the network diagram? Let's see the activity. Activity 1 to 2 will begin with node 1. Node 1, activity 1 to 2. For activity 1 to 2, the normal time is 8. So we write here 8. Next, activity 1 to 3. Activity 1 to 3. The normal time is 4. So we note down normal time 4. Next, activity 2 to 4. Activity 2 to 4. The normal time is 2. Normal time is 2. Next, activity 2 to 5. Activity 2 to 5. The normal time is 10. If we note down here normal time 10. Next, activity 3 to 4. Activity 3 to 4. The normal time is 5. Normal time is 5. Next, last activity, activity 4 to 5. Activity 4 to 5. The normal time is 3. Normal time is 3. Alright. Now, once we done with the drawing of the network, we'll have to identify the possible paths. We'll have to identify the different possible paths. From the starting node till the ending node, how many paths are available? Like for example, so we have got 3 to 4 paths which are available to complete a project. Let's list out the number of paths. Like for example, from activity 1 to 2 and 2 to 5, we have got one path. Activity 1 to 2 and 2 to 5. Activity 1 to 2 and 2 to 5. From the starting point to the ending point, we have got one path which is activity 1 to 2 and 2 to 5. Now, activity 1 to 2, it will take 8 days, plus activity 2 to 5, it will take 10 days. So the number of days taken by path 1 is 18 days. Next, we'll list down the second path. The second path is activity 1 to 2, 2 to 4 and 4 to 5. Activity 1 to 2, 2 to 4 and 4 to 5. Let's write activity 1 to 2, 2 to 4 and 4 to 5. Now, activity 1 to 2, it will take 8 days, plus activity 2 to 4, 2 to 4 will take another 2 days, plus activity 4 to 5, activity 4 to 5 will take another 3 days. 8 plus 2, 10, 10 plus 3, 13 days. Now, we have third path with us, which is activity 1 to 3, 3 to 4 and 4 to 5. 1 to 3, 3 to 4 and 4 to 5. Let's list 1 to 3, 3 to 4 and 4 to 5. 1 to 3 will take 4 days. 1 to 3 will take 4 days. Plus 3 to 4 will take another 5 days. 3 to 4 it will take 5 days. Next we have 4 to 5. 4 to 5 will take another 3 days. 4 plus 5, 9. 9 plus 3, 12 days. Once we identify all the paths which are available to complete our project, the next step is we'll have to identify the critical path. Now, how do we identify a critical path? Now, if you select the first path, we require 18 days to complete the project. If we select the second path, we require 13 days to complete the project. Whereas if you take the third path, we require 12 days to complete the project. Now, which is the longest path which is available to complete the project. If you see all the three paths, the longest path is the 18 days. In other words, the maximum number of days which is taken by the one of the path is taken as a critical path. The first path has taken 18, the second path is 13, and the third path is 12 days. If you compare all the three paths, the first path has taken the maximum number of days. So therefore, it is taken as a critical path. The first path is taken as critical path as it has got the maximum number of days, or it is called as the longest path, which is having 18 number of days. Now, once we identify the critical path, next we'll have to cut down the number of possible days to the next path. Like for example, the first path has got the maximum number of days, which is 18. The next maximum is 13 days, which means we have a possibility of cutting down the days of 5. If 18 minus 5 will give us 13 days, which means we'll have to cut down any one of the activities so that we can reduce 5 days and we bring it to the 13 days. Now when I bring it to 13 days, this critical path will become parallel to the second path. Let's do it. Step number 1. In step number 1, in the first path we have got 18 days. We'll have to identify the next maximum. The next maximum is 13. So therefore, we'll have to reduce 5 days to make it equal to the second path. List out the number of activities which is available only in the critical path. Next, possible crash, and then cost of slope. I'm going to list out the activities of only the critical path. The first path, which is 1 to 2, 2 to 5, is a critical path. So therefore, I'm going to list out the activities of only the critical path, which is 1 to 2, 1 to 2, and then I have 2 to 5, 2 to 5. Now, for activity 1 to 2, what is the possible crash? For activity 1 to 2, what is the possible crash? We'll have to refer the main table here. The main table is here. For activity 1 to 2, the possible crash is 2 and the cost of slope is 50. Next, for activity 2 to 5, the possible crash is 5 and the cost of slope is 60. Now, we have listed activity 1 to 2 and 2 to 5. 1 to 2 and 2 to 5. It's only because these two activities fall under critical path. Therefore, these activities have been listed here with the possible crash and the cost of slope according to the table given here. Now, what I'm going to do next, I'm going to cut down the number of days from 18 to the next maximum. The next maximum is 13 days. So therefore, I have to cut down 5 days. Now, which activity have to cancel? Is it 1 to 2 or 2 to 5? Is it 1 to 2 or 2 to 5? I have to see the cost slope. For activity 1 to 2 it is 50 and activities 2 to 5 it is 60. I have to select one of the activity which has got least cost of slope. Like for example, activity 1 to 2 has got 50 as cost of slope and activity 2 to 5 has got 60 as its cost of slope. If I say 50 and 60, the minimum is here 50. So I'm going to select activity 1 to 2 because it has got minimum cost which is 50. Now, as I told you, I have to cut down 5 days because from 18 days I have to get it down to the next maximum, which is 13 days. So 2 days can be cancelled here. So the remaining possible crash is 0, and the other remaining 3 days can be cut down here. So the remaining number of days is 2. Totally I have crashed 5 days. Here I have crashed 2 days. Here I have crashed 3 days. These are the numbers which are the remaining possible crash. Here I am remained 0 possible crash. Here I am remained with 2 possible crash. Let's find out the crash cost. I have cut down activity 1 to 2 for 50 rupees. I've cancelled 2 days, which comes up to rupees 100. I also reduced the number of activities from 2 to 5, which is 60 rupees for each of the day, multiplied by I have cut down 3 days, which is 180. So the total cost comes up to 218. Yeah. We have crashed the activity here 1 to 2. 1 to 2, we have crashed there 2 days. So therefore the crash cost is 50 multiplied by 2 will be 100. And then we have crashed activity 2 to 5 for a period of 3 days. So therefore it is 60 multiplied by 3, which is 180. So the total crash cost comes up to rupees 218. Remember, when we write here, we'll have to write only the remaining number of days. Activity 1 to 2, we have crashed there 2 days. So therefore the remaining number of days are 0. Even here, activity 2 to 5, we crashed 3 days. The remaining number of days are 2. Now hence, we have crashed 5 days. So this 18 days will become now 13 days. Since we have crashed 5 days, 18 minus 5 will become now 13 days. Now, for the next step, we have got 2 critical paths here, because the first path has got maximum number of days 13, even second path has got a maximum number of days, which is 13, and the next maximum is 12 days. Now what we have to do is, we'll have to identify the critical path. Now the critical path is a path which has got the maximum number of days. If you see here, path number 1 has got 13 days, path number 2 has got 13 days. So these are the maximum number of days when you compare the third path, which has got only 12 days. So therefore these two paths are taken as critical path. These two parts are taken as critical path for the step 2. Now the next task that we have is, these 13 days have to be reduced to 12 days, so that these two parts can be equal to the third path. So in order to make it equal to the third path, or in order to make it parallel to the third path, we have to reduce 1 day from each path. From first path, if we reduce 1 day, it will be 12 days, and if we reduce 1 day from the second path, it will be 12 days. Let's see how to crash 1 day each from path 1 and path 2. Step number 2, we list out the activities of critical path and then possible crash, then cost of slope. Now I am going to list out the activities of only the critical path. Like right now we have got 2 critical paths, path 1 and path 2. We have taken these 2 paths as a critical path only due to the reason that these have got the maximum number of days. Like in path 1, activity 1 to 2, I have to take down here activity 1 to 2. Activity 1 to 2 has got 0 possible crash, so therefore I need not to take it down. Next activities Next activity is 2 to 5. 2 to 5, the possible crash is 2. Activity 2 to 5, the possible crash is 2 and the cost of slope is 60. So critical path 1 is over. We have taken down activity 1 to 2 and 2 to 5. 1 to 2 we could not take it because 1 to 2 the possible crash was 0, so therefore we have not taken it down. So therefore the next activity is 2 to 5. We have taken down 2 to 5. Possible crash is 2. Possible crash activity 2 to 5 is 2. And then cost of slope is 60. The cost of slope is 60. Next critical path is the second path, which has got the maximum number of days, 13 days. So let's list out the activities. First activity is 1 to 2. Once again 1 to 2 cannot be written as it has got 0 possible crash. And then I have to list down the next activity, activity 2 to 4. Activity 2 to 4. For activity 2 to 4, I have to see the main table here. Activity 2 to 4. The possible crash for activity 2 to 4 is 1 and the cost of slope is 40 rupees. 1 and 40 rupees. So 2 to 4 is over. Next one is activity 4 to 5. Activity 4 to 5. I have to refer the main table to identify the possible crash here. For activity 4 to 5, the possible crash is 2 and the cost of slope is 10. I have taken down the activities of 2 critical paths. Okay, I have listed down the activities of 2 critical paths, and now any one of the activities have to be crashed here. Now let us crash from path 2, as we have to make this 13 days equal to 12 days. Any one of the activity to be crashed, either it is 1 to 2 or 2 to 4 or 4 to 5. 1 to 2 cannot be crashed because it has got 0 possible crash. Next possible activity we have is 2 to 4. Activity 2 to 4. Activity 2 to 4 has got 40 as its cost of slope. Next activity is activity 4 to 5. Activity 4 to 5, it has got a cost of slope as 10. Now if I compare with activity 2 to 4 and 4 to 5, 2 to 4 and 4 to 5, the minimum cost is 10. So hence I have to select activity 4 to 5. So I'm going to cancel their 1 day activity 4 to 5, because among activity 2 to 4 and 4 to 5, activity 2 to 4 has got 40, whereas activity 4 to 5 has got 10. The minimum cost is 10 here when I compare these two activities, because these two activities belong to this critical path 2 to 4 and 4 to 5. The least cost is here 10, so therefore I crashed down one activity here. So now since I've crashed one, this will become 12 days. And now one more activity to be cancelled here. Okay, this 13 days have to make equal to 12 days. So therefore I have to cancel any one of the activity. Either it is 1 to 2 or 2 to 5. Again 1 to 2 cannot be crashed because 1 to 2 the possible crash is 0. And then the next availability is 2 to 5. Whereas 2 to 5 has got a possible crash of 2 and the cost of slope is 60. Let's crash one activity here. So now it is 12 days. Now find out the crash cost for activity 4 to 5. One day the cost of slope is 10 rupees. And for activity 2 to 5, 1 day, the cost of slope is 60. So the total cost of slope will come up to rupees 17. So now we have got, for the next step, we have got 3 critical paths. The first path 1 to 2, 2 to 5 has got 12 days. Second path 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 5 has also got 12 days. And the third path 1 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5 has got 12 days. So the maximum number of days that you can find is 12. So therefore all the 3 paths are taken to be as critical path. For the third step, we have got all the 3 paths as our critical path. Path 1 has got maximum 12, path 2 has got maximum 12 days, and path 3 has got maximum 12 days. Now let us try to crash down one more day from each of the path. Okay, we have to continue crashing till any one of the path completely get crashed. Either it may be 1 to 5 or 1 to 2, 2 to 4 or 4 to 5 or 1 to 3, 3 to 4 or 4 to 5. Any one of the path has to completely crashed. So let us move to the third step. For the third step, I'm going to list out the critical activities of all the 3 critical paths, because all the 3 paths are your critical path. So I'm going to list down the activities of all the critical paths. From path 1, 1 to 2 cannot be taken, it is 0. Next availability is 2 to 5. The possible crash is 1. Cost of slope is 60. Next, coming to the next critical path, 1 to 2, the possible crash is 0, hence it cannot be taken. Next, activity 2 to 4, activity 2 to 4, activity 2 to 4, possible crash is 1, and cost of slope is 40. Next, 2 to 4 is over. Next activity is 4 to 5. Activity 4 to 5, activity 4 to 5, possible crash is 1 and cost of slope is 10. So second critical path is over. Moving to the third critical path. Activity 1 to 3, activity 1 to 3. I have to write down the possible crash. For activity 1 to 3, I have to go to the main table. Activity 1 to 3, possible crash I can find here, it is 2, and cost of slope I can find here 100. Next, the next activity is 3 to 4. We'll have to see here 3 to 4. The possible crash is 4 and the cost of slope is 25. Let us write activity 3 to 4. The possible crash is 4 and cost of slope is 25. Next, 3 to 4 is over. Next activity is 4 to 5. 4 to 5 is already written here, 4 to 5 is written, so therefore once again we need not to write. Now let's crash the activity so that we can bring it to the same level. Okay, we'll have to reduce to the same number of days. Now we'll have to apply 2 methods here. One is common activity method, other one is minimum cost method. Now why we'll have to apply the common activity method? Now since we have 2 activities which are common in 2 critical paths, so therefore we have to take the common activity. Okay, now whenever we have got more than two critical paths, first we'll have to check with a common activity. Now if you see path 2, activity 4 to 5, and path 3, activity 4 to 5, both have got a possible crash as 1. Okay, if it is 0, we need not to take it, since activity 4 to 5 has got 1, so therefore we'll have to take it. But whereas activity 1 to 2 has got 0, so therefore we have not taken it. But if it comes to activity 4 to 5, it is not 0, it is more than 0, therefore we have to take it as a common activity as 4 to 5. Now if I crash down one of the activity from second path, so then it will become 11 days. The same activity is included in the third path, so by default here also 1 day will be cancelled, and here again it will be 11 days. Let's try. If I take the common activity as 4 to 5, for 4 to 5, activity 4 to 5, activity 4 to 5 we'll have to cancel. We'll have to check the possible crash there, 1, and the cost is 10. So 10 rupee for 1 day, it is 10. So when I cancel here, by default here also will be cancelled. So here it has become 11 days, here it has become 11 days. The next path is the path number 1. Either it should be 1 to 2 or it should be 2 to 5. 1 to 2, it is 0. So next we'll have to move to 2 to 5. 2 to 5 will have to cancel, there is no common activity, but here also we'll have to reduce 1 day, we'll have to make it 11 days. So therefore any one of the activity compulsorily have to be crashed, though there is no common activity. So we shall take 2 to 5. 2 to 5, the possible crash is 1 and the cost of slope is 60. So therefore it is 60 into 1, 60. The total crash cost comes up to 70. Okay, this is where we have selected the common activity from the above second and third path. Since there was no common activity, we had to go with the minimum cost, either 1 to 2 or 2 to 5. 1 to 2 was 0, so I had to go to 2 to 5. 2 to 5. Next, we'll have to go with the next method here, minimum cost method. Now minimum cost, we'll have to check individual path and we'll have to select the minimum cost. From path 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 5, what is the minimum cost? From path 2, 1 to 2, 2 to 4 and 4 to 5, what is the minimum cost? Then path 3, 1 to 3, 3 to 4 and 4 to 5, what is the minimum cost? That minimum cost activity to be crashed here, here, here. Okay, let's see from path 1, 1 to 2 and 2 to 5. 1 to 2 has got 0 here, so cannot be done anything. So forcibly we'll have to take, compulsorily we'll have to take 2 to 5. So let us take 2 to 5. For 2 to 5, the possible crash is 1, cost is 60. Next, so this path is over, we have taken 2 to 5, one activity crashed, so hence it will be 11 days. Now here, coming to the second path, either it should be 1 to 2, 2 to 4 or 4 to 5. We'll have to select the minimum cost. Okay, 1 to 2 cannot because it has got 0. Next is 2 to 4. 2 to 4 has got 40 as its cost. 4 to 5 has got 10 as its cost. So I go with 4 to 5 because it has got 10. If I compare 2 to 4 and 4 to 5, 2 to 4 40, 4 to 5 10. So the least is 10. So I go with the least, 4 to 5, 10 into 1 is 10. Next, This path is over. The next path, again here I have to reduce 1 day. From 12 days I have to make it to 11 days. Now the options are 1 to 3, 3 to 4 or 4 to 5. Among these activities I have to select the least cost. 1 to 3 has got 100 rupees. 3 to 4 has got 3 to 4 25 rupees. Then 4 to 5 10. Now 4 to 5 cannot be taken because it's already included in the common activity. So therefore 4 to 5 cannot be taken. Next path is 1 to 2, 2 to 4 and 4 to 5. Either any one of the activity has to be cancelled which has got the minimum cost. Either it is 1 to 2, 2 to 4 and 4 to 5. 1 to 2 has got 0 cost, so cannot be done. Next is 2 to 4. 2 to 4 has got 40 rupees. 2 to 4 40 rupees. Next 4 to 5. 4 to 5 cannot be done because 4 to 5 is taken as a common activity here. It is already taken here as a common activity. So 4 to 5 cannot be taken. 1 to 2 cannot be taken. It has got 0. 4 to 5 cannot be taken. It is a common activity because we are trying now minimum cost method. So therefore the remaining activities 2 to 4 itself I have to take it. So activity 2 to 4 has got 40 rupees for 1 day. So one activity is cancelled here in one of the paths. So now it is 11 days. Next path, either any one of the activity has to be cancelled. Either it is 1 to 3 or 3 to 4 or 4 to 5. The least cost. Okay. 1 to 3 has got 100 rupees. 3 to 4 has got 25 rupees. 4 to 5 cannot be taken because 4 to 5 is our common activity, so we cannot be taken. So the option is between 1 to 3 and 3 to 4. 1 to 3 is 100, 3 to 4 is 25. So the least is 3 to 4. So 3 to 4 shall be taken. So the total cost comes at 60 plus 40 plus 25, 125. So when I compare the minimum cost comes up to 125, whereas common activity cost comes up to 70. Hence this has to be selected, this has to be dropped. Because when you compare 125 with 70, the minimum cost is 70. So therefore this has to be selected. So therefore 4 to 5 has to be cancelled. 4 to 5 has to be cancelled. So here it is 0 days. And 2 to 5 has to be cancelled. 2 to 5 has to be cancelled 1 day. So it is 0 days. So 4 to we reduced. 4 to 5 we reduced. So here when we reduce, here it will be 11 days. By default, here also 4 to 5 will be reduced. Here it will be 11 days. And then this also will have to bring it to from 12 days to 11 days. We cancel activity 2 to 5 there. 2 to 5 cancelled. So now it is 11 days. Now let's see which path got completely crashed. Now one by one. Activity 1 to 2 completely crashed. It has got 0 possible crash. Activity 2 to 5 got now completely crashed. It is 0. So therefore path 1 to 2, 2 to 5, path 1 to 2, 2 to 5 got completely crashed. 1 to 2 was 0, and 2 to 5, 1 to 2 is 0, and 2 to 5, 2 to 5 is 0. So we conclude the problem. We'll have to keep on doing till any one of the paths get completely crashed. Since the first path got completely crashed, which is 1 to 2 has got 0, and 2 to 5 has also got 0. So till here we have to continue the problem, and then we'll have to conclude the problem. Now let us find out the total overhead cost. Number of days that we crashed, crash cost that we incurred, and the overhead cost or the indirect cost. Now, for the maximum number of days that we had was 18. So let's begin from 18. The crash cost was 0. We didn't crash any activity there. Overhead cost was given in the problem. It will be given in the problem. In the current problem, it is 70 rupees. Okay, this 70 rupees will be given in the question. Okay, so therefore it is 70 into 18 days. So that comes up to 1260. Next number of days are 17. We'll have to reduce 1 day. For 17 days, okay, the possible crash that we had is 50 rupees for each day, wherein we crashed 2 days. So 50 rupees is for 1 day. 50 rupees for 1 day. So therefore 70 multiplied by 17 days, so that comes up to 1190 plus the crash cost, which is 50, is equal to 1240. Next, we reduce one more day now, 16 days. Okay. The 17th and the 16th days are cancelled here. For the 16th day also we incurred 50 rupees. 50 rupees. 70 is a overhead cost which is fixed for 16 days. So that comes up to 1120 plus the crash cost for the above 2 days, 50 of the previous day and 50 of the current day. So that comes up to 1220. Next, reduce one more day now for 15 days. For 15 days, the crash cost was rupees 60, because for 15, 14 and 13, for 3 days, the crash cost was 60 rupees. So 60 rupees, 70 is fixed overhead cost. For 15 days, that is 1050 plus this is the crash cost for earlier days, and this, the current one is here 60. So that comes up to 1210. Next, for 14 days. For 14 days we have cancelled their 3 days. 15, 14, 13 will come under 60 rupees slot. 60 rupees. 70 multiplied by for 14 days. that comes up to 980 plus 50 plus 60, and of the current today it is 60, so that comes up to 1200. Next, for the 13th day, the 15th, 14th and 13th day is included in the 60 rupees for 3 days. So these are the 3 days. For 15, 14 and 13 are the 3 days for 60 each. 60 for 70 days for 13 days comes up to 910 plus 50 rupees, 50 rupees, 60 rupees, 60 rupees of the previous days, plus the 13th days it was 60 rupees. So it will come up to 1190. Next, for the 12th day, the crash cost was, we crashed 1 day there. The 12th day it was rupees 70. The crash cost was 70. So 70, which is overhead cost, which is fixed for 12 days. That is 840 plus, these are the cost of the previous days, 50, 60, 60, 60 plus the current day is 70. So 70, it will come up to 1119. Next, for the last day, the 11th day, we stopped till 11th days. So therefore it is still 11th day. For the 11th day, we incurred there 70 rupees. For 70 is overhead cost, which is fixed. For the 11 days it is 770 plus, these are the cost of crash of the previous days, and the current one is 70. So that will come up to 1190. Now I have to select the optimum cost. We'll have to select the optimum cost. The optimum cost is the least cost. If I see the least cost, this is 1190, 1190 and 1190. I've got 3 least costs there. Upon that, I have to see the least number of days. Here it is 11 days, 12 days and 13 days. The least number of days and the least cost. The least number of days is 11 and the least cost is 1190. So therefore 1190 is selected, plus I have to total the normal cost. The normal cost is given in the question here in the main table. These are the normal costs. 100, 150, 50, 100, 180. When you add up, it will be 580. The total of the normal cost comes up to rupees 580. This 580 should be added to the overhead cost. This 580 plus 1190 will come up to 1770. So this is your optimum cost. Thank you.